6 hidden psychological signs she's secretly obsessed with you. Female mind explained. Psychology tricks. Have you ever looked at a woman and wondered what she's really thinking behind that quick smile or soft glance? Often, the truth isn't in what she says, it's in the emotion she tries to hide. The heart has its reasons which reason does not know. Blaise Pascal. When a woman begins to feel something strong, she rarely admits it. Her mind pulls back for protection, while her emotions push her closer. That's why she may act calm, busy, or indifferent on the surface, even as something deeper is forming underneath. Most men focus on her words, not her signals. But obsession doesn't show up in big gestures, it appears in small, quiet patterns. When your name on her phone makes her heartbeat shift. When she thinks about you before bed without meaning to. When she tells herself not to care, yet keeps returning to your orbit. Psychology shows that once a woman forms an emotional fixation, the reward centers in her brain light up, similar to addiction. Every meaningful text, every moment she feels understood, triggers a surge of dopamine. It's not weakness, it's wiring. She'll never say, "I'm obsessed." Instead, she hides it behind playful teasing, subtle tests, and those lingering looks that last a breath longer than they should. If you know how to read those signs, you'll see what she won't put into words. 1. Emotional mirroring. When a woman is secretly obsessed with you, she won't announce it with a dramatic confession. She'll test you quietly, emotionally, piece by piece. She opens up a little, drops a vulnerable story, reveals a fear, and then watches what you do with it. Do you get defensive? Do you joke it away? Do you make it about you? If you react with ego, she shuts the door just enough to feel safe again. If you respond with calm confidence, with that grounded masculine energy that doesn't flinch or judge, she relaxes and lets you in further. What she's really hunting for is emotional safety, the kind of steady presence that makes her think, "I can be fully myself here and he won't punish me for it." Don't underestimate that. Don't assume her mixed signals mean she doesn't know what she wants. Be smart enough to see that she's not confused, she's cautious. That is the first psychological shift you must understand if you want to be a high-value man and truly attract women who are emotionally mature. Once you see past the surface, once you stop obsessing over what she said and start noticing how she feels around you, the whole game changes. You start reading the energy behind her words, the emotion behind her silence, and the truth behind her actions. Obsession doesn't scream. It whispers. It hides in curiosity and consistency in every small moment she spends trying to understand you more deeply. So stay with me, because we're decoding the female mind here, the subtle psychological signs that reveal when she's quietly hooked on you. This isn't fantasy. This is psychology. It's emotional behavior backed by research, proven by experience, and magnified every time she meets a man with real masculine energy who knows how to hold space instead of showing off. When a woman starts falling for you on a deeper level, something shifts beneath the radar. Her emotional rhythm starts syncing with yours. She doesn't sit there thinking, "Let me copy him." It's not a script. It's her nervous system lining up with your presence. You laugh. She laughs without thinking. You get quieter. She starts to feel slightly unsettled, like something's off in the room. You open up and share something real, and suddenly she feels safer sharing her own inner world. That is emotional synchronization. Science calls it mirroring. Real life calls it connection. Our brains are wired with mirror neurons, those tiny pathways that allow us to feel what someone else feels. When she's drawn to you, those neurons fire harder. Her body angles toward you. Her tone softens to match yours. Her texting rhythm starts aligning with your pace. She finds herself using your favorite phrases, picking up your slang, or suddenly getting into the music, podcasts, or ideas that you love. Don't brush that off as coincidence. This is her subconscious saying, "I want to live in your world. I want to feel what you feel." That is not casual interest. That is early stage obsession. For a high value man, this is where your awareness becomes everything. Most guys miss it. They think she's just being polite, just nice. They fail to notice her emotional frequency has shifted and is now orbiting around theirs. You must train yourself to see the difference between a woman who is just being friendly and a woman whose emotional state rises and falls with your presence. When you walk into the room and her mood visibly lifts, when your good day becomes her good day, when your distance makes her strangely anxious, you are no longer just a guy she likes. You're becoming an emotional reference point in her life. And don't get it twisted. That's not manipulation. That's biology. The more connected she feels, the more her brain links you with safety, excitement, and emotional balance. This is exactly how you attract women on a deeper level without chasing or begging. By being that steady, consistent presence a feminine woman can emotionally sync with. But there's a danger here. If you're unaware, you can misuse this connection. When someone mirrors you emotionally, they're handing you quiet influence over their state of mind. If you bring calm, she feels grounded. If you bring chaos, she feels unstable. If you're a storm, she lives in a storm. That is why emotional maturity isn't optional if you want to be a high value man. It's mandatory. You're not just dealing with attraction, you're dealing with her nervous system, her trust, her history with men who may have failed her. Trust is sacred. It's fragile. It's the bridge between curiosity and love, between I like him and I can't stop thinking about him. Don't play with that. Don't test her emotions just to see if she'll chase you. Don't pull away on purpose to make her miss you when she's clearly opening up. Those little games might inflate your ego for a moment, but they slowly damage the bond her heart is trying to build. Be the man who knows he can attract women without needing to hurt them to prove it. When you notice her mirroring you, treat it as a responsibility, not a trophy. Lead with stability. Speak with honesty. Act with clarity. Stay consistent. You must give her something real and solid to attach to: your character, your integrity, your mission, not just your charm or your looks. Because here's the deeper truth: when she mirrors you emotionally, she isn't just copying your habits. She's trying to merge her identity with the feeling she gets around you. She's not just attracted to your face or your body. She's drawn to how she feels in your presence: the safety, the calm, the inspiration, sometimes even the challenge to be better. That feeling becomes addictive. Her brain starts linking that emotional balance with you, the man who brings it. That is why she keeps coming back even when she tries to pull away. That is why a simple text from you can shift her entire day. This is the real power of grounded masculine energy. It doesn't just attract women on the surface, it pulls them in at the level of their nervous system. So when you see her matching your tone, your timing, your pace, your emotional temperature, don't dismiss it as nothing. It's not random. It's connection. It's her subconscious saying, I feel aligned with you. Mirror her in return, not as a trick, but as empathy. Let your energy meet hers with steadiness. Hold that emotional echo with care. Because when obsession evolves into secure attachment and attachment is handled with respect, it becomes the foundation of a love that doesn't just burn hot and disappear, but stays, deepens, and grows stronger over time. Exactly the kind of love a true high value man is built to create and protect. 2. Selective vulnerability. When a woman starts feeling something real for you, her armor doesn't fall off all at once. It softens in small, delicate ways, like ice melting under warm hands. You'll hear it in her voice when she speaks to you with a tenderness she doesn't use with anyone else. You'll see it in her eyes when they linger a little longer, searching your face like she's trying to understand what kind of man you truly are. And you'll notice it in those tiny pauses between her sentences, the ones that only happen when someone is letting you into the parts of themselves they usually guard. That is selective vulnerability. She's not performing. She's not trying to impress you. She's letting you see her without the mask, and she would never risk that with a man she didn't feel drawn toward. This is one of the most powerful psychology tricks hidden in plain sight, a phenomenon deeply rooted in female psychology and one of the early patterns in how to fall in love. Don't underestimate this shift. Don't treat it like casual conversation. Be aware. When a woman who has learned to protect herself starts opening the gates a little, it means you've crossed the threshold from curiosity into emotional trust. And trust, real trust, is rare. It's not built on charm, status, or smooth lines. It's built on consistency, presence, and emotional steadiness. Vulnerability is a leap of faith, especially for a woman whose experiences taught her to stay guarded. When she lets you see her insecurities, the stories that still make her voice lower, the fears she hides even from her closest friends, that is not accidental. That is not a slip. That is her saying, without words, I feel safe here. From a psychological standpoint, this is the moment everything changes. Emotional sharing triggers oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Every time she confides in you, her brain links the relief she feels to your presence. Not just your face, not your body, not your voice. You. You become the emotional sanctuary her nervous system instinctively reaches for. And here's the part most men never notice. She begins to crave the peace she feels around you long before she realizes she's craving you. That is the quiet beginning of hidden obsession. That is female psychology at work in its most subtle form. You'll notice she starts revealing deeper layers, dreams she's afraid to say out loud because she thinks they sound unrealistic, memories from the past that still sting, insecurities she hides behind a confident smile. She does this because she feels seen, not judged. And when a woman feels truly seen, her emotional walls don't just lower, they dissolve. Her heart begins building a bridge toward you, plank by emotional plank. Don't ignore these moments. Don't minimize her transparency. Be present. Be attentive. Because you're not just listening to her stories, you're holding pieces of her heart. Remember this. People bond with those who validate their emotions. When you respond with empathy and steady energy, her trust deepens. When you acknowledge her truth with sincerity, her attachment strengthens. That is one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book, not manipulation, but resonance. And from her side, this is one of the earliest stages in how to fall in love. She's not showing vulnerability to seek pity, she's seeking connection. She wants to be understood, not analyzed. She wants to feel held emotionally, not fixed. If you rush her, judge her, or brush her feelings aside, her nervous system takes notes and she retreats. If you meet her softness with strength, she opens further. This is the moment so many men misread. They think her vulnerability means she's fragile. They think she's being dramatic. They think she wants saving. Wrong. She wants partnership. She wants emotional presence. She wants the comfort of knowing that her truth won't scare you. Be the calm in her storm. Be consistent. Be steady. Because the female psychology behind attachment is simple. Safety equals connection, and connection equals desire. The more she opens up, the more you become her emotional priority. Suddenly, you're not just a man she enjoys talking to. You're the person her mind reaches for when she's stressed, hurt, overwhelmed, or tired of pretending with everyone else. That is not friendship. That is emotional imprinting. And imprinting becomes obsession when it's fed by trust, presence, and emotional clarity. Don't misunderstand this responsibility. When someone becomes vulnerable with you, they're not handing you information, they're handing you access. Treat it with care. Don't weaponize her fears in arguments. Don't use her past as leverage. Don't mock her dreams. You must protect her openness the way you'd protect something rare and irreplaceable, because it is. The way you respond during these vulnerable moments determines the entire direction of the connection. If you rise to the moment, she feels safe. If you stumble into emotional immaturity, she shuts down. And here's the deeper truth. Once a woman connects with you through vulnerability, she doesn't just start thinking about you more. She starts imagining her life with you. Not because of fantasy, but because of how she feels about herself when she's with you. When she feels peaceful, understood, accepted, and emotionally supported, that is how to fall in love at the deepest level. This is the hidden power of selective vulnerability. This is the psychology behind why she becomes quietly obsessed. This is the moment when her heart begins choosing you long before her words do. If you found this valuable, like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. To engage, leave a comment saying, I am emotionally safe with her. This phrase reflects the powerful connection created through emotional vulnerability and trust, which is the heart of attraction and deeper emotional investment. Let's keep the conversation going. 3. Emotional prioritization. When a woman starts to trust you emotionally, a significant shift takes place within her mind. This isn't about controlling behavior or obsessive tendencies in the dramatic sense. It's about emotional prioritization. You begin to occupy a central place in her world. Her mind starts reordering what truly matters, and suddenly, you're a focus that wasn't there before. She begins to notice things about you that no one else does, small details you may have overlooked yourself. This shift happens subtly and naturally. Her brain is now prioritizing the things that connect her to you, so she remembers things you might not even realize you've said: your favorite food, the story of your childhood, the dream you once casually mentioned. These aren't just random thoughts. These are emotional signals that your presence is of deep importance to her. Psychology calls this selective attention, a process where the brain filters out irrelevant information and focuses on what emotionally matters. This is the quiet beginning of obsession, not in a possessive or dramatic sense, but in the sense of emotional attachment. When you become emotionally significant to her, your words and actions begin to occupy more of her mental space, which in turn strengthens the emotional bond she feels toward you. Her brain is rewarding her for thinking about you, and this is not just poetic, this is neuroscience. Dopamine, the chemical responsible for pleasure and motivation, is released in her brain when she thinks of you or engages with you. This chemical is the driving force behind attachment and pursuit, linking you with emotional reward. This is why she may feel a rush of joy when you text her and anxiety when you don't. It's not about manipulation or control. It's the neurological wiring of her attachment system. The more she interacts with you, the more her mind links you with the positive feelings of safety and happiness. Even if she doesn't show it, she might check her messages more often than she admits, because every message from you feeds into her emotional connection to you. Her questions about your day may seem casual, but they are not just small talk. They're a way to maintain the emotional thread between you. When you pull away, her energy shifts. She may act distant, but this is a defense mechanism driven by her fear of losing the emotional connection. Her attachment system is reacting, searching for reassurance, and the more emotionally invested she becomes, the stronger this response gets. Most of this happens without her even realizing it. She doesn't plan it, it's just the natural response of her emotional mind. This is why your consistency is critical. When you respond with patience and clarity, rather than pulling back or playing games, you help her regulate her emotions in a healthy, balanced way. Men who understand this don't manipulate it. They honor it. They treat it with the reverence it deserves, knowing that when a woman invests her emotional attention, she's offering vulnerability, time, and energy. If you don't respect that investment, she will sense it and pull away. But when you approach her emotional attention with steady confidence, you become someone she can depend on, not just for attraction, but for a deeper, more secure emotional connection. This is the true foundation of trust. It transforms initial chemistry into a lasting bond of devotion. The beauty of this stage is that it's both subtle and powerful. One moment, she's just another person in your life, and the next, she's emotionally attuned to your presence. This hidden transformation is what most men fail to recognize. When a woman emotionally prioritizes you, she is rearranging her inner world to make space for you. It's one of the most intimate signs of emotional attachment and one of the most fragile. So, pay attention. When she recalls small details, looks at you with a quiet intensity, or adjusts her energy to match yours, know that you've become part of her internal rhythm. This is a privilege, one that requires you to show up with presence, honesty, and strength. As you continue to be consistent, steady, and emotionally reliable, you will realize the power of the bond you've built. You're no longer just someone she likes, you're someone she emotionally depends on. This is the hidden truth of lasting relationships. The emotional connection is what keeps you grounded, understood, and alive together. As the old Stoic wisdom teaches, control is strength, control over your own emotions, and the control of your actions in the face of emotional turbulence is the ultimate victory. Through Stoicism, we win. It is through the iron mind that we learn to show up with clarity, consistency, and strength, qualities that build the lasting connection you're seeking. Keep this in mind, and you will build not just a relationship, but a deep emotional partnership grounded in trust and respect. 4. Dependence on your presence. When a woman starts depending on your presence, you'll feel it, and not just in what she says, but in how she behaves. You must recognize that it's not about her needing you to fix everything, but more about how she feels when you're around. She becomes noticeably more comfortable, happier, and at ease when you're present. On the flip side, when you're not there, you'll notice subtle signs of anxiety or discomfort. It's not that she's weak or helpless. Rather, your presence has become a source of emotional safety and stability for her. This isn't dependency in the traditional sense, but a deep emotional connection where she feels at peace with you. In moments of doubt or struggle, it's not protection she seeks from you. It's the grounded comfort of knowing that you are a constant, a reliable source of tranquility. She trusts you to be there, not because she needs you to fix things, but because you have become her anchor, the one place in a chaotic world that feels steady. In the world of high value men, this emotional bond is key to attracting women. It's not about constantly being the one to swoop in and solve every problem, but about the quiet power of your masculine energy that offers security and stability. Your emotional steadiness, your ability to remain calm and composed, is exactly what she is drawn to. Think about it. When the world feels like it's crumbling, she seeks out your presence not just because you're there, but because you exude a sense of peace that nothing else can replicate. This is where your high value energy comes into play. You don't need to chase after her, try to be someone you're not, or constantly impress her. You must simply embody the essence of a man who is steady, secure, and grounded. This attracts women far more than any flashy display of dominance. Remember this. Do not confuse emotional reliance with weakness. It's actually a sign of a woman feeling safe enough in your presence to let her guard down. When she can show this side of herself around you, it's a clear indication that you've earned her trust and respect. This is the very foundation of a healthy, emotional bond built on mutual respect and understanding. She's not clinging to you, she's allowing herself to be vulnerable with you because she knows you can handle it. And let's face it, this is exactly what women find attractive. Not because you have the best job, the most flashy car, or the longest resume, but because you possess something that many other men lack: the ability to stay calm, cool, and collected in the face of uncertainty. This is the power of masculine energy, having control over your emotions and actions, even in the most stressful situations. And here's where the ancient Stoic wisdom comes in: control is strength. It's not about controlling her emotions, but about controlling yours. A Stoic man understands that true power lies in his ability to remain unshaken when the storm rages around him. In these moments, your calmness and steadiness provide her with the emotional anchor she desperately craves. She will feel it, even if she doesn't say it directly. That sense of stability you offer can be incredibly alluring. So, do not underestimate the importance of showing up for her emotionally, not as someone who has all the answers, but as someone who simply is. You're the rock she can lean on when everything else feels uncertain. Ultimately, this is the essence of high value masculinity. It's about creating a safe space where she feels comfortable enough to open up, trust, and be vulnerable without fear of judgment. Your masculine energy is not about dominance or control, but about creating an emotional environment that allows her to flourish. This is a deeper connection than anything surface level. It's about being the emotional steady force that makes her feel secure, calm, and at peace. So, when she relies on your presence, recognize it for what it is: a sign that you've reached a level of emotional intimacy and trust that is incredibly rare and valuable. This is how high value men attract women: through emotional steadiness, deep trust, and unwavering masculine energy. The woman who feels this bond with you will not only respect you more, but she will also become fiercely loyal because she knows you're the one man who will always be there, regardless of the storm. If you found this insight valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe for more content on understanding the female mind and mastering your masculine energy. Comment below to affirm, I am the steady anchor in her storm. 5. She shares her deepest thoughts and emotions. One of the clearest signs a woman is secretly obsessed with you is when she begins to open up in ways you never expected. She starts revealing her deepest thoughts, her most intimate fears, dreams, and aspirations, things she has never shared with anyone else. This isn't just small talk, it's her soul coming to the surface. You're not just any guy in her life anymore. You've become someone she trusts deeply, someone she feels safe enough with to be vulnerable. Her emotional world is now yours to witness, and that's a powerful thing. This kind of connection doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, one that unfolds as she grows more comfortable with you. As the relationship deepens, so does her emotional openness. She lets you in, bit by bit, showing parts of herself that she's kept locked away from the world. This is the stage where you begin to see the true depth of her feelings, the rawness that many women rarely express. You must recognize that this sharing goes beyond just wanting to talk. It's a clear indication that she's seeking something more from you: feedback, validation, and understanding. She's not just telling you stories for the sake of it. She wants your input. She wants you to see her, to validate her emotions, her dreams, and the intricate layers of who she is. This isn't about the superficial stuff anymore. It's about the core of who she is, her very essence, and she's sharing that with you. At this point, you've become more than just someone she likes. You've become someone important in her emotional world, someone who understands her like no one else. This level of emotional vulnerability is a significant moment in any relationship, and it's a key indicator that she feels deeply connected to you. Think about it. When she's emotionally open with you, she's building a bridge that connects her heart to yours. She's giving you access to her most private thoughts and feelings, and that's something not every man gets. You must understand the significance of this moment. It's a direct result of trust. Trust in the psychology tricks that govern human relationships. Women, in general, are not quick to expose their innermost selves unless they feel truly safe. When she starts sharing the parts of herself she keeps hidden from others, it means she feels secure with you. This is a huge signal that her obsession with you is growing. You're no longer just someone she likes. You've become a trusted partner, a confidant, and someone who plays a central role in her emotional life. Remember Marcus Aurelius' words: the best relationships are those based on trust and honest sharing, with nothing hidden. These words carry weight in the realm of female psychology. True connection isn't built on shallow conversations or surface-level interactions. It's forged in the fires of vulnerability, where both people feel safe enough to expose their inner truths without fear of judgment. When she shares her emotional world with you, it's because she trusts you completely. And that trust is the foundation for everything else. You must cherish and protect that bond. Here's the thing. This level of openness and emotional sharing can be rare. Many men don't get the chance to experience it because they haven't built the necessary foundation of trust and understanding. You must realize that when she opens up like this, it's a gift. Not every man earns it. So, take it seriously. You must be the kind of man who listens with intent, who responds with empathy, and who always shows respect for her feelings. If you can do that, you're not just fostering a deeper connection, you're strengthening her obsession with you. She'll start to see you as the one person who truly gets her, and that is incredibly powerful. You also need to recognize how powerful this bond is. When she shares her deepest thoughts with you, she's not just letting you into her mind, she's inviting you into her heart. This is the part of female psychology that many men overlook. Women are emotional beings, and their feelings are deeply connected to their thoughts. When you understand and engage with her on this level, you're engaging with her on a deeper, emotional plane. You're not just how to fall in love territory. You're in the realm of deep emotional connection that can evolve into something profound. As a high-value man, you have to appreciate the weight of this emotional sharing. This is not just a casual conversation. It's an intimate moment of trust that can lead to greater intimacy. You're not only learning more about her, you're showing her that you are worth opening up to. And that's how you build something real. Don't take it for granted. When she's revealing her soul to you, it's because she's trying to deepen the connection between you. You must be ready to respond with the same level of openness or risk pushing her away. This is where the relationship transforms. It goes beyond physical attraction into something much more meaningful. To wrap it up, when a woman starts sharing her deepest emotions with you, it's one of the clearest signs she's secretly obsessed with you. It's not just about telling stories or seeking your advice. It's about creating a bond based on trust, emotional safety, and understanding. This is the foundation of all great relationships, and if you can nurture it, the connection between you will grow stronger. So, don't underestimate the power of emotional intimacy. It's one of the most profound signs she's falling deeply for you. 6. Changes in behavior and attitude when you're not around. When a woman is truly emotionally invested in you, her behavior and attitude will subtly shift when you're not around. These changes might seem insignificant at first, but they are not random. They are important signals, revealing the depth of her feelings for you. She might become anxious, distant, or, on a more subtle level, try to draw attention to herself without openly expressing it. These shifts in behavior aren't dramatic, but they are deeply telling. She feels your absence, and it disrupts her emotional state. This is how emotionally invested she is. You might notice she's not as cheerful, less engaged in social conversations, or simply not the same when you're not by her side. She's searching for something that she feels is missing when you're not there, the emotional balance that your presence provides. The way she acts during these moments isn't just a sign of mood changes, it's a reflection of how much she relies on you to feel whole, how much she craves your consistency and emotional steadiness. You might think it's insignificant or that you should just let it slide, but no, you must not ignore it. This is a moment where you have to show up with purpose and consistency. It's your chance to demonstrate emotional strength, to be the calm in the storm, the rock that she can depend on. This is where Old Stoic wisdom is invaluable. As the Stoics teach us, cultivating an iron mind is essential. With an iron mind, you can become impervious to emotional fluctuations. You do not let external circumstances dictate your internal peace. This means that in the moments when she is anxious or distant, you must remain grounded, calm, and steady. Let her feel that you're unaffected by the ups and downs of her emotions. Show her that even in the quietest, most distant moments, you are reliable and you can handle the ebb and flow of life with patience and stability. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have, said Epictetus. You can't control her emotions, but you can control your own. When she senses your ability to stay emotionally balanced, she will begin to trust you more deeply, knowing that you can weather any storm together. This steady presence you provide will leave an impression on her, drawing her closer. You see, emotional steadiness is your strength. It's the foundation on which you build a strong, unshakable connection. The moment you start wavering, showing uncertainty, inconsistency, or emotional instability, you create doubt in her mind. But when you are unwavering, when your emotional steadiness becomes your signature, she will begin to rely on you more than ever before. You must understand this. In relationships, especially in the beginning, your emotional stability is your greatest asset. Women crave security. They crave someone they can depend on when everything else is in flux. You can't be the man who gets rattled by small changes in behavior or subtle shifts in attitude. You must remain solid, like a rock in the middle of a river that doesn't move no matter how strong the current. By embodying emotional steadiness, you show her that she can depend on you, no matter what. This is your moment to show her that you are not like every other man who folds under pressure or runs when things get tough. You must embody the principles of Stoicism and adopt the iron mind that will allow you to rise above emotional fluctuations. The truth is simple. In any relationship, consistency is key. You must be the person who remains present even when things are quiet, even when there's distance. In the quiet moments, in the periods when you're not around, don't disappear emotionally. Let her know that your presence, even if it's physical absence, will always be felt. Do not give in to the temptation to get lost in self-doubt or in trying to change her behavior. Instead, control your own emotional responses. Your emotional strength is the shield that will make her feel secure in your connection. This is the Stoic way to win. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By keeping your thoughts and actions grounded in patience and consistency, you win her trust. And trust, my friend, is the foundation of obsession. When you show her that your emotional steadiness isn't just an act, but a deeply ingrained part of who you are, she will begin to lean on you. She will begin to value your presence in a way that is irreplaceable. You must become the man who doesn't crumble at the slightest hint of emotional distance or tension. Instead, you stand firm. You embody emotional mastery. You exhibit what it means to have an iron mind. Stoicism teaches us that true power comes from mastering ourselves, from controlling our reactions, and from remaining steady no matter the storm around us. This is how you will win, not by chasing her, but by standing strong. Your emotional stability will attract her like nothing else. It is your path to mastering life, to gaining her trust, and to becoming the rock she turns to. Always remember, when you're not around, how you respond to her absence will define the strength of your connection. Do not underestimate the power of a steady mind. Let that be your secret weapon. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If any of these hidden psychological signs surprised you, or maybe confirmed what you were already thinking, that means you're paying attention to the details most people overlook. And that awareness is your biggest advantage. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support the work behind these videos and lets me know you want more content like this. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new insight into psychology and human behavior. I'd also love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these signs in real life? Do you think I missed an important one? Or do you have a personal story or a question you want to talk about? Feel free to express your thoughts in the comments section. This channel isn't just about information, it's about conversation. Your opinion matters here, and your feedback helps shape future videos. Because at the end of the day, understanding the female mind isn't about games, it's about clarity, confidence, and connection. And once you understand the psychology behind it, things start to make a whole lot more sense. So until next time, stay sharp, stay confident, and remember, real value attracts real interest. You're more powerful than you think.